City crews have dismantled an encampment on Bellevue Avenue in Kensington Market. Heavy equipment was used to remove the debris and combustible materials. The city says by 5 p.m. yesterday, 9 people had accepted offers of shelter space with wraparound supports. One person still remains at the site, which is on a city right-of-way. The city says outreach workers will stay in touch with the one remaining occupant over the coming days to encourage that person to accept help and the offer of indoor space. And Toronto's Mayor Olivia Chow commented on the encampment being cleared.
I know that all of the people staying in that encampment have been offered shelter hotels with wraparound services, so they would get the kind of support that they need. And I believe that 5 of them have accepted, and there's negotiation going on with the other 2.
I'm not surprised. It's just that, it wasn't kept tidy, it should have been kept, looking good, and it wasn't, you know what I mean? It had people, kept their belongings within an enclosure of a sort without it spilling onto the streets. They wouldn't have had this issue when it comes to the drug use. Like when I first started this thing 2 years ago, but then took off.
If this is the solution that they need, why doesn't the city provide them that? Provide them a dedicated space where they can set up their encampment, because this is like a proper, well-functioning, self-preserved ecosystem that they have going on here. So maybe give it to them, so it's a win-win situation for all parties.
And the federal government is providing Peel Region with $7 million to operate a new reception center that will provide more streamlined services and supports to asylum claimants, as well as additional shelter.
The center will help better direct newly arrived asylum claimants, newcomers, to the services available to them, and to help relieve the pressures on other shelters in the area and help coordinate with the supports and services to these claimants. Today's announcements represents just one of the many steps that our government's plan to address the increase in asylum seekers we've seen here in Canada and around the world.
Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Minister Mark Miller says the new reception space near Pearson Airport will also benefit the city of Toronto.
We are funding a reception center near the airport, which will reflect the coordinated approach with hundreds of beds potentially available and more coordinated approach with the Peel region that'll benefit the city of Toronto itself, with people perhaps coming through the airport and claiming asylum or getting people off the street, so that there is a response that is a little more humane than what you're seeing in some of the footage that you're showing. And then we're always willing to continue our work, which has been productive with the mayor in Toronto, in getting some real short-term solutions on the table and delivered, so that there can be some other centres opened and people welcomed for the winter season.
And Mayor Chow welcomed this news of the reception centre, but renewed her call for Ottawa to step up and help cities across Canada deal with the influx of refugees and asylum seekers, including providing funding for existing shelters.
Secondly, they need to provide funding for all the municipalities like Toronto or Vancouver or in Brampton, the funds that we are already spending. In Toronto, 5,000 refugees are already in our shelters, and we need to find funds to support these existing ones.
And the mayor went on to say she is pleased about this announcement, saying this new reception centre has the potential to serve as the focal point for a coordinated regional response that ensures refugees have a safe place and a good start to their lives in Canada. Next, we have to work together to address the needs of the thousands of refugees who have already arrived in shelters across the region, including the 5,100 the City of Toronto is currently supporting.